So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be, or in other words, conquer their dyslexia? That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. Hey guys, what's happening? I want to do this really quick video, this little podcast, kind of explaining the experience I'm going through with this Davis training. Now, I've got one in 10 minutes starting up, but I quickly want to make this video before it gets out of my head. I want to sort of be really raw with the experience, because this happened yesterday. Yesterday we went through the letters. The alphabet letters, and I've actually, on my table, I'm actually looking at all the letters I've done, and I've made them out of clay. And yesterday spent almost 3 hours going through them and sounding them out and making sure what we call on point. And basically the whole concept behind this is so guys, if you don't know, just really watch my last podcast episodes about this. So I'm basically taking this course teaching about this Davis method. Anyway, so with this, it's like the purpose of this is to make sure we are certain with all the letters, make sure none of the letters cause confusion for us, and something I've never done before, first time I've done it. And like the bit I want to say, or the bit I want to speak about today, it was so emotional yesterday when we got to the letter R. And I was going through the letters, and some was good, some was not as some was good, some I had a little trouble with, but the letter R for me, I was saying letter R, and I was losing focus, what they call on your point, when this little, I can't explain the whole thing. I don't think anyway, it's just hard. It'll take a while. Anyway, it's like, it may seem weird, but when you actually explain it and go through it, it makes total sense. Anyway, the letter R, I was having a lot of trouble with, and I think one of the reasons I had trouble with this was explaining, and it's the whole purpose of make you feel certain that it's your R, and this is the R, and it's yours, and for it can't cause any confusion in you. Anyway, it's causing so much confusion over and over and over again, and then I think it was because I spent my whole education, like with my speech correction classes, it took me 6 years to say my name correctly. I said my name's Theo, now I say my name's Theo with a TH, not a sound. And I was still doing it with R and W, and R. And it, like, I still struggled with it for loads and years and years. And because every time I said the word R, I'd pronounce it like R, but all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I had this confusion, and I remember we're taking a little break, because I said I need to go to the toilet. We had to take a little break, and then the moment the camera went off, I got all emotional, like really emotional, and I was sort of thinking to myself, this actually works. This stuff, it's like all these years, it's years. I know if you're dyslexic, you know what I'm on about. It's like years of difference of this thing, like stopping you, and like it felt like it was still there and it was still happening, in terms of I was still struggling with this letter, but now I know I'm struggling with this letter. I know why I'm struggling with the letter, and it was truly incredible. And I did all this motion things off camera. I don't want to ruin the actual training, and then went through it again, and I finally got it, where I was sounding it and I was saying it, and it wasn't like she was saying it's right. It was like, it's right for me. It's like, I know, I can feel like it's there, and it's certain. And I was so emotional, and then went through it again. I got even more emotional then that time, because I was asked her about the sounds. I told her about that I'm struggling with the sounds. She said, no, it's your sound. She was saying, like these are your sound, these are your things. And one thing, and then that time I was really, really emotional, and I hold back all the tears and stuff. Anyway, one thing that really struck me about this, and I think it's something other people get, is one thing I want to say and feel is why haven't we been told this before? Why hasn't anyone done this to me before? I've had all this help, but yet missed this step, which seems so crucial and so important. Now, if I want to give the answers to that, there's a lot of answers to that, but I'm not here talking about the actual answers. I want to say about the experience and the emotions. Massive thing off my shoulders. Now I'm ready and excited to have another here and do some other letters. Not other letters like uppercase to lowercase and eventually move on to words and so on and so forth. And moving forward, and this is just so utterly exciting. And one thing I like, some basics I'm learning here with dyslexia. It's that you like if you have dyslexia yourself, and I'm very, very severe, and I've tried loads of things, loads of support, and everything's been like a lot of support has been amazing, but it hasn't really moved the needle. Nothing like this. One thing is that if you're not dyslexic and you want to help your child, dyslexia is not something simple. It's not something that can be explained by a graph, not something that can be explained in a 5-minute conversation to you for you to make sense of it. Dyslexia is this unique entity that you think differently, you operate differently, things are done differently, and you can't improve someone's dyslexia by thinking in a neurotypical way. You have to take a step outside the box. And yes, people like with more science-based approaches, that's people will improve on that. People do improve on that, but not everyone. And like the key for me, if knowing if something works or if it doesn't work, when it comes to working with dyslexia, is it a one-time thing, or does it take years and years and years to slowly improve to get up to grade level? Now, grade level is the standard I think you should be at. And now, if it does take like a long time, and it's just this process of going over things again and again and again and again and again and again and again, it's really related to how they normally teach English. Just in different ways, different techniques to make it more multisensory or whatever for dyslexics. It's not as effective, nowhere near as effective than something that does it one time, as used to condition you, to use to put you there, to make you ready. It's not like you don't learn, but they always say you don't learn through rote memorization, same like, and with the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, like with dyslexics, it's like conditioning you in a way to be proper. And there's this whole thing with this method where conditioning is about conditioning you once, and then you can do this like little thing to like little bit of upkeep, but yet once you condition you, it's a massive transformation, and it would never ever go back. And it's one thing I've learned from this training, and then like I've kind of known it before through other things I've done, but now it's like true. This is it. Yeah. So anyway. That's my little one piece I want to say, and the other question that people do get, I'm going to answer that because why not? I think I have time. The other thing I'll say really, really quickly is that why dyslexics don't learn, why this method or other methods that are so much more effective to schooling aren't more widely produced. One thing is money and understanding. Money because like a lot of businesses, a lot of companies, a lot of like schools, government funded, all this kind of things. There's a system, there's an ecosystem here, and there loads of people have to agree on something for it to become more widely known. And that number two is that schools is built for neurotypicals. School isn't built for neurodiverse. Dyslexia is neurodiverse. So it's really, you have to get us like, it's going to take time and years for things to change, and that's just the way it is, and that's fine. Of course, it's not fine if you're going through it and a victim of it. And like now, when I say victim, like after it happens, like after you go through the situation, now you're in the next stage of your life. If you're still blaming them, then like you're making yourself the victim. If you're going through it right now, of course it's bad. But it's about us understanding it and moving forward, and like listening to things like this. And I want to get the answers. I want to build the answers. I want to have something out there that can just help you guys. Anyway, it's a little podcast today. Let me jump on this training. It's starting in like 10 seconds. I hope you have a good day and take care, and bye.